Good morning. We continue to closely monitor Hurricane Elsa as it moves over the Caribbean Sea this weekend. By late Sunday or early Monday, we expect that the storm will be emerging off the coast of Cuba and approaching or getting pretty close to Florida during the Monday to Tuesday timeframe. So as the mayor and governor said earlier, the tropical storm force winds could begin as early as Sunday here in South Florida. Most likely, based on the official forecast, it would be Monday and possibly even into Tuesday. So we do have this weekend to prepare for the possibility of tropical storm conditions at least. There's still a lot of uncertainty, as you've heard. There's still a lot of uncertainty in the forecast, how it will evolve, how the storm will interact with the land areas that are to our south, and that could affect not only the intensity or how strong the storm is, but also the track that it takes. So right now, we'll continue to closely monitor the storm. We'll be providing, of course, advisories every 6 hours, and just to be ready, look over our preparedness plans this weekend, and be ready for the potential of tropical storm conditions, along with heavy rainfall early next week. Brevemente en español, estamos siguiendo de monitorear el huracán Elsa, que está sobre el Mar Caribe. Se espera que atraviese el Mar Caribe este fin de semana, posiblemente para tarde el domingo o temprano el lunes, ya acercándose un poco más hacia la Florida. Los posibles impactos, si nos afecta aquí en el sur de la Florida, sería posiblemente tan pronto como el domingo, pero más probablemente el lunes y también posiblemente hasta el martes. O sea, tenemos algunos días este fin de semana para prepararnos para un posible impacto. Todavía hay bastante incertidumbre en cuanto a la trayectoria que va a tomar esta tormenta y también con qué fuerza o qué fuerza va a tener. Pero simplemente hay que seguir vigilando el sistema, como lo vamos a hacer nosotros, y nosotros vamos a pasar esa información a todos ustedes con los informes cada 6 horas. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Mollera. Now, Division Director for Office of Emergency Management, Deputy Incident Commander, Charles Cyril.
Good morning, everyone. With Hurricane Elsa strengthening into Category 1 hurricane, the Miami-Dade County Office of Emergency Management and the Florida Division of Emergency Management are working together to assess all potential impacts as it approaches. As we enter the holiday weekend, please ensure you monitor the progress of this storm and begin your personal preparedness. Make sure you have 3 to 7 days of supplies on hand for each person in your home. Additionally, residents are urged to begin securing their home in preparation for potential impacts. Any objects that can easily be blown away by a hurricane winds should begin to be secured, either tied down or brought indoors. Examples are garbage cans, patio furniture, etc. And be sure to take tree trimmings to your local trash and recycling center. It is critically important that these preparatory activities begin today. Also, be sure that your emergency equipment, such as hurricane shutters, and battery-powered radios, are working and are in order. Please test them today. Find out if you live in an evacuation zone, know your zone, and as always, the 311 contact center is available for any questions. If you would like more information, please visit miamidade.gov/emergency. Miami-Dade County officials will continue to monitor the storm and will ensure any advisories in conjunction with the National Weather Service as they become necessary. Stay informed of all latest developments by downloading the Ready MDC app. Of course, the ongoing search and rescue mission, as well as providing support for the afflicted families, remains our highest priority. Our Family Assistance Center is open from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week. There are currently 26 organizations there providing services to the families and their survivors. Mental health, grief counseling, financial lodging, travel, and many other services to those in need are being provided to date. Currently, there are 63 families that have been served. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sorrell. And now in Spanish, on behalf of the Deputy Incident Commander, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, Director of Media and Public Relations, Erica Benitez.
Muy buenos días. Como ya saben todos, estamos en plena temporada de huracanes y al entrar este fin de semana festivo queremos que se aseguren de comenzar sus planes de preparación personales. Asegure de tener todos los suministros disponibles por lo menos de 3 a 7 días. Además, instamos a todos los residentes a mantenerse informados descargando la aplicación de Ready MDC para más información. También los residentes deben comenzar a proteger sus hogares en este momento. Cualquier objeto que pueda ser arrastrado fácilmente por el viento debe comenzar ya a asegurarlo desde ahora. Lleve los recortes de árbol a un centro de reciclaje y basura local. Además, asegúrese de que su equipo de emergencia, como contraventanas para huracanes, además radios de batería y todo lo que puede llegar a necesitar en estos casos, esté listo y preparado. También averigüe si usted vive en una zona de evacuación. Como siempre, el centro de información o de contacto, el 311, está disponible para cualquier pregunta que tengan sobre la preparación para este fin de semana. Además, si desea obtener más información sobre estos planes de preparación, puede visitar miamidade.gov/emergency. Los funcionarios del condado de Miami-Dade continúan monitoreando la tormenta y emitirán cualquier aviso necesario para mantenerlos informados. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Erica. And now Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett.
Good morning, everybody. As I usually do now, early this morning I spent a good amount of time at the site. I also went up to the family briefing, and I have a couple messages from there. Chief Brian Rafsky has done a stupendous job arranging for the families to be moved around this town and being able to obtain the services that we're offering. They've instituted bus trams, and the families can now just hop on and hop off and get to where they need easily, which is a great step forward. With respect to the maximum effort that's being put forward by Search and Rescue, I want to personally commend Chief Ray Jadilla for working 20 hours a day and sleeping 4 hours a night since the beginning of this. He's the only guy that I see. Well, I should take that back. He's the guy that I always see when I'm here, and I'm here a lot. Okay, I'm sleeping a little more than 4 hours a night. It's probably up to 5.5 or 6. But Ray has been a beacon, a rock, a source of hope for the families. He's there at those briefings every single day, answering very tough questions. He is passionate. He's compassionate. He's understanding, and he's, most importantly, he's flexible. He's heard the direction from the county mayor. He's heard the direction from the state officials, from the governor. He's heard the directions from the president, and he's following them. He's not letting bureaucratic roadblocks get in the way. The support for the families is unparalleled. It really is. It's astounding how wonderful and beautiful our resources, our county resources, our local resources, all the municipalities that are joining together. It's like a chorus, and it's just playing beautifully. I mean, and I can tell you from firsthand experience that the families appreciate it and acknowledge it, and they do it over and over again in those meetings. So there's not any dissatisfaction that I've been able to detect, and I'm looking for that, because my role here is, I've got a very small role, but I make it a point to be where everybody is, so that if there is a problem, I can bring it up to County Mayor Cava, I can bring it up to Florida Governor DeSantis, and I can make our senators aware, and that's what I've been doing, and that's been working, because when there has been a glitch, it has been immediately addressed. I want to personally call out and thank Governor DeSantis and Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez for being in Surfside as much as they are in Surfside. It's very difficult for them to run the state of Florida, but also spend as much time as they do here. I can tell you from the town of Surfside, and I imagine from the families and the residents of South Florida, we are all very, very grateful, and it's super reassuring to see their faces all the time around this disaster. I want to also congratulate, listen, we had a very difficult situation yesterday where the work was stopped and there was incredible pressure on Mayor Cabo. Incredible. I know for a fact that I was asking a lot of hard questions and she was rock solid. She did what she needed to do and she got that work started up again. And I know the families and everybody else is very thankful for that, and we praise her leadership skills. A lot of people have called about animals in the building. They're concerned. It's not one or two people. I get calls and emails all the time, and they want to know whether or not we can get in there to rescue the animals. I will say that I know for a fact that that building has been covered at least 3 times by the brave men and women of the search and rescue teams, up and down, looking for anything alive. And to this point, I haven't heard that they've seen anything. Moreover, I heard today that there are drones flying around inside that building also looking, and I know that if there were issues with respect to animals in there, that we would probably hear about it. So for those folks that are really worried and losing sleep over that, just know that your county officials have that in mind and are not discounting that. Last thing I want to do, 2 more things. I just want to tell you that I'm meeting today with the displaced families from Champlain South who were immediately taken care of. Again, the work that the county has done in conjunction with the state authorities and the federal authorities is really something I think that's going to come out later on after we get over the shock and horror of this collapse. And we're not going to talk too much about it, but suffice to say, it is working. Government is working. Most people don't see government working a lot, but right here, right now, government is working, and I'm going to meet with the displaced families. They've asked me to come over and talk to them, so I'm going to make sure that they're getting everything they need, and if they're not, I'm going to make sure they do. Last thing, Champlain North, the building that's substantially the same as the building that came down, the same construction, the same developer, the same name, probably the same materials. People are worried. Some people are especially worried, and we have made arrangements for them to be relocated further. Our building official, in conjunction with our experts, are now getting ready to x-ray columns and do a deep dive, a forensic study into the structure, take that data back, plug it into the models, and get to the point where we can definitively tell the people that are living there whether or not we think there's an issue or not, which I'm hopeful will give our residents a little more peace of mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And now for Creole translation, Lionel Larago.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hier soir, nous continuons le travail que nous avons toujours fait et c'est une découverte de nouveaux victimes. Une victime, malheureusement, c'est une fille qui a 7 années et qui a perdu la vie. Papa lui a travaillé comme pompier, comme agent pompier dans Miami-Dade. Nous connaissons comment ça a été difficile pour toute l'équipe là pour te faire découvrir ça. Nous demandons pour continuer à prier pour eux de côté par eux. Victime nous, c'est victime qui sortent tout partout, c'est pas victime au quartier ni en comté seulement, ils sortent tout partout dans le monde. Pour le moment, nous comptons 20 morts, nous gagnons 188 que nous joignons et gagnons 128 personnes que nous pouvons joindre toujours. Pour le moment, ingénieurs avec équipe pompiers travaillent pour être capables d'évaluer de sorte que sont capables d'évaluer et joindre qui sont capables d'étendre zone de recherche que y a faire. Pour le moment, il y a évalué tout qui gens sont capables d'attaquer question de démolition pour le fait pour la vie moun pas mettre en danger encore. Nous avons suivi comment Elsa a évolué, elle est sortie de niveau tempête tropicale, elle est passée dans le niveau ouragan. Et dimanche, à la mi-journée, probablement nous sommes capables de gagner de forts vents et peut-être de fortes pluies. Pour le moment, nous demandons à tout le monde songez que nous dans saison cyclone, et saison cyclone là, c'est le moment que tout le monde doit préparer yo pour conséquences cyclone. Nous tous connaissons, faire attention et protéger tête nous, protéger la vie nous. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Larrable. Now we're going to be opening up for questions. Please address it to who the question is for, and then.
I have two questions. The first question is for anybody. Are there any fears that the winds could bring down the building, the hurricane or tropical storm? And to the fire chief, if there's any way you could talk about just the mental state that somebody could go to work knowing that their child is there. And I mean, the story has pretty much gutted so many people about the firefighter finding the daughter. And just what kind of mental state somebody could go to work and go to work.
Yes, in regards to the hurricane, now another significant obstacle in the horizon heading this direction. So yes, we have engineers. We have an established engineer group. We've had them on site from the beginning with our USAR teams. Now we've incorporated more engineers, so we're using our state and federal assets as well, and then as well as our county assets locally. So we have an engineer team which developing all different plans. We have more equipment now monitoring, so we brought more resources in the other day, where we're continuing. As I stated, from the incident when this began, it's just so challenging. So many different obstacles, one after the other. And that building standing definitely has been a huge obstacle, and the hazards that, for our men and women that are out there working. As a fire chief, that's my top priority, saving lives and protecting our personnel. And that goes hand in hand. So it's a delicate balance and very, very difficult decisions at time to make. For the windstorms, we'll monitor, and we'll have to see if the direction of the storm and how close it gets, and then we'll have to make the necessary precautions and modifications to our plan. And then also, I do want to comment to the second question. Every victim we remove, it's difficult. It's very difficult. We try to respect. We have a whole process in regards to how we remove each individual that we come across. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to remove any survivors yet, but it's very difficult. And last night was even more, when we're removing a fellow firefighter's daughter. And that's just where I want to emphasize the emotion, what we're feeling. As firefighters, we do what we do, and it's kind of a calling, and we always say that. And but it still takes a toll, and that's why you see more resources coming through. Our brave men and women of our Florida task force, we've been going, nonstop. And so it's nice with our federal resources coming through, and this has always, been the plan. I just was hoping that we've had some survivors so far.